Can conscious intention change the weather? For the last 4 years, I have gone to play tennis every Monday and Friday morning. There are no indoor courts, so whenever it rains, tennis gets canceled. Especially in winter, there is a lot of rain, and tennis is sometimes rained out several weeks in a row. I used to take this for granted, as if there was absolutely nothing I could do about it. Even though I have been teaching reality creation for 30 years, it didn't occur to me that I might create another reality. Can you imagine that? I've been teaching it for decades and forgot to apply it. It was so beyond imagination for me, I didn't even consider it. Instead, attention was fixated on a weather app. The weather app would determine my Monday and Friday. I wouldn't determine my own reality. An app would. A meteorologist would. I mean, let's say realistic, right? I wouldn't be so megalomaniac to think that I could influence the weather. That's insane. Who do I think I am? Last fall and autumn, tennis cancellations started up again, and it frustrated me. I spend a lot of time on my laptop in coaching, and going outdoors for tennis was my favorite way to balance excessive screen time. I came across an article about indigenous people doing rain ceremony to influence the weather. That's when it occurred to me. All people across the world have done prayers and rituals to change the weather. It's a normal part of human history. They have always danced, prayed, and sang for rain or sun to help their farming. Why haven't I tried this? Don't I teach reality creation? But my mind responded. Isn't it selfish to use it on something as mundane as tennis? Am I using up hard-earned karma points? Shouldn't I use my manifesting power to heal the sick? Do I have a limited number of allotted manifestations I can use per year? You see, even the reality creation coach can have a mind full of nonsense doubts. The universe, source, the angels, God, spirit, higher self, or whatever you wish to call the creative and responsive field, wants human beings to rely on their spiritual power and are more than eager to manifest. I remember the first time I used this. It was a Monday morning and my app was predicting rain. The organizer wanted to call it off, but I texted that it will clear up. With confidence and in defiance of the stupid weather app. Everyone showed up. After only 30 minutes of play, dark clouds appeared. Wind started blowing. One said, "Yeah, they predicted this. This looks bad. Time to pack it up." And then it started showering down hard. With full might of intention, I said, "No, I would like it to clear up. I would like it to be perfectly clear. The sun is shining. By the power of the highest source of all universes, I intend for a clear sky. The sun is now shining. Thank you." Or something like that. It was with strongest, most sincere intent, done like there was no other option. What then happened I have never seen before. The group of tennis players, which were 11 people except me, were already leaving the courts because it had started to pour. While they were leaving, and before they had reached the clubhouse to dry off, the rain abruptly stopped, and the sun emerged brightly through the clouds. Under my breath, I whispered, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The group was confused. They saw me. I hadn't left the court. They had all left. I had stayed. Reality creation is to also physically embody one's intention. Had I returned to the clubhouse, it would have given the message that I don't believe. The group seemed confused. They all returned to the courts and started playing again. I talked about this miraculous occurrence for weeks. The rain stopped abruptly, as if someone had switched off a faucet. It usually doesn't stop like that. Normal rain trickles out. The clouds gradually lift, but in this case, the dark clouds were nowhere to be seen. They had just been there a few seconds ago. Where were they now? But here's the even more amazing part. For the rest of the fall and winter, it did not rain again on either Monday or Friday morning. When it rained, it always rained in the afternoon or the mornings of other days. It was the first time in 5 years that I could consistently play twice a week. I was very hyped up about this. Sometimes the app would predict rain the next morning, and I would send out an intention, and the next morning when I woke up, the app would show all sunshine. I did the intending while it started raining thing on 2 other occasions, and it worked in both. Luck has nothing to do with it. In normal winters, tennis would be rained out on average 10 times. But that very special last winter, it was 0 times. Then spring came, and it got to the point where I needed a little break from tennis. So I decided that I don't mind if it rained. I preferred if the weather went back to random. And promptly, the next season was rained out, and I got some rest. While writing this, I realize how outrageous it sounds. As humans, we sometimes forget the extent of our influence. We're oblivious to the possibilities, and we too easily give in to circumstances. Ask yourself, is there really nothing I can do about my set of circumstances? Or is it a matter of expressing new, sincere intentions? You might think that it's an incredible power that I have, or that one person shouldn't have that much power, but it's really not me doing it. As I explain in my books, I intend, but something higher than the self manifests. Ego has nothing to do with it, and the manifesting is so powerful, precisely because I am humble enough to know that it's not me who is the hero of the story. And if anybody else is intending for any weather, it's easy because there are no intentions opposite yours. In business, for instance, it might not be that smooth because there are many intentions at play. But who else in town is intending about the weather? I was probably the only person doing so with any sort of sincerity in the wider area. Also, the intention is wonderfully innocent. All the kid wants is to play a little tennis. If you were this super powerful being floating above the earth and you heard one of those small humans down there wish for nothing more than a little sunshine so he could play, wouldn't you be just delighted to deliver it to him? That's all he wants? Bless his heart, I'll give it to him.